Hello guys, my name is Kong and today I'm gonna be talking about The Priest on Netflix. I believe it is on Netflix, and it starred Paul Bettany. So basically this story is about humanity against parasitic vampire. They're not your humanoid vampire. They are humanoid, but they're not what you call intelligent vampire. It's not your typical Dracula or Count Dracula or can't remember that one movie. I can't remember what it's called, but these are like brain dead vampires. They're like horde vampires. I think that's the best way I can describe. There you do get to see. I'll talk about it a little bit, but that's what it is. It's about the war between the two species, and that's what the stories are. So let me talk about what I did like about this movie. I like Paul Bettany. He's a really good actor. He did a really good job. His attitude, his demeanor. He did a good job with the character. And I think that's it. And also I have to say I like the dystopian environment, a dystopian world. I love that. It kind of reminds me of Mad Max. It reminds me of kind of like cowboys. A little bit of Blade Runner. A little bit Blade Runner. A little bit of sword. A little bit of sword play, sword action, a little bit of gun action. So it's got a little bit of piece of sort of those famous action movies or action genres, I should say. I like the whole idea of the church being like an authoritarian government almost. It is, it's like kind of like the dark side of the church. You know how typically you have the church as the good and stuff, but this here is the church is the authoritarian. It's almost fascism or remind me of the Nazis. That's what it really is. Come down, remind me of Nazi, Stalin, Italy, fascism. It remind me of that. It's like it's a very totalitarian government, and it is a church, and they really show that. They really exhibit a totalitarian, the strict laws and orders and everything is to believe in the church. It's like is really ingrained into the society that these people live in on this one, I guess, one of the many cities, big cities. So I really like that aspect of it. That is it. That's about it. I guess I could say I like the first half. The first half is really good. I like the animation, telling the story of humanity and the vampire. I like that. It's really, really, really good. A really good way to introduce to the stories and the worlds. I like that a lot. Now let's talk about what I did not like. I did not like the second half. It just fell flat. It just went from great and it went down and hit rock bottom. There wasn't any villain. I think it was Carl Urban. I think that was his name. He wasn't even a real antagonist. He wasn't really he wasn't really a threat. Yes, he was strong, but he wasn't a threat. You don't see his motivation. He wanted to be. I guess he was an evolution or become. He's like the next step of intelligent vampire, but he just didn't provide. He was not a good villain at all. And also, what I did not like is I did not like the CGI of the vampires and your low rank vampire. It just feel kind of fake. It feel kind of like glob. It just didn't look realistic. And I think this movie is a kind of like a low budget, maybe mid budget movie, but still, You don't get any backstory of how the vampire, their species, how it is structured. You don't get to see that. You don't. You see maybe a glimpse of the queen, a glimpse of the guardian, and then your drone vampire. That is it. That is all. There is no other kind of species of vampire out there. So it just lackluster. And I gotta say, the character development in this is kind of not too great. It feels bland. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel like these characters have gone through war. These characters is weathered. They are frustrated. They're tired. You don't see this. And then the way the story ends, it's just, yes, there's still vampire out there. It just didn't feel like it was not a good ending. It felt weak. It felt almost pathetic. It just didn't give you that, yes, they kill all the vampire, but we never got that because the story never got to that point in this movie. I feel like this is just I guess you can say, part one. And we are supposedly to get part two and to see the actual war, or the actual elimination of the vampire, or the elimination of humanity. But you don't get to see in this one movie. It's just cut. It's just done. You're left high and dry. You're left to just left to your own imagination, your own assumption as to what just happened. So that's why I did not like this movie as much as I should or want to. So that's what really falls short. The story, the characters, and the ending, and then the characters, it's kind of feel kind of hollow. They're not three-dimensional characters, so to speak. So what was the rating I give this movie? I give it a 4 out of 10. It did try its best to immerse you in the worlds and all of that, but it just fall short after the second half. The characters you just don't really care about the characters, and you want to find out more about the vampires and their whole ecosystem, but you never really get that. Okay, then and then the ending you're just left behind. Basically, I feel like I was left behind, and like, oh, this is it. This is all you got. So that's why I give it a 4 out of 10. I would not recommend you watch this movie. Don't watch it. Maybe watch the first half and just be done with that. That's it. But I would not recommend it. A 4 out of 10 is just not a good movie at all to watch, to enjoy, to be captivated, to be immersed in the world. It don't deserve your time and effort to watch it. So anyway, guys, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and browse to my YouTube channels. I have a lot of content for you guys to check out. Please do so. But most importantly, thank you and take care.